Yo, what's going on, man? Today is October the 26th. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn Show. We have a bunch of games on the board for today. I'm not going through all of them yet again. I think it's 10 games on the board for today. I will jump into 3 of them. We'll talk about those. If you guys got questions, leave them in the comment section. I'll try to get to a couple of those, answer questions. If it's something that you guys want me to look up or want my insight on, I'll share that with you. But let's jump into it for today, man. I got a new partnership, a new promo for you guys as well today. Super excited to talk about that. So we'll do that, go through a couple of the comments, get into a quick recap of what we saw or what I bet yesterday. And then we'll get into a couple of the games today. As you guys can see, this page has changed just a tad bit. The show is presented by IceJam now. It's also presented by Moneyballer. And it's presented by JaXon. We're going to talk a little bit about JaXon today. So quick recap of yesterday. Detroit, I made the standalone video for Detroit and Cleveland after I kind of handicapped the game a little bit more. And that was an easy winner. Under 227.5. It was both teams on the first leg of back-to-backs. Really loved that angle. Orlando minus 11.5. Brooklyn fall all the way to the end. I'm watching that game all the way through the end. And Brooklyn's still like fouling, like double teaming, trapping, with like less than 30 seconds left, and they're down by like 12. So Orlando was a winner. Charlotte plus the 5.5. They lose by 5. They hit a big 3 to cover that late. Kudos to them. I really, really needed that because Philly did not go up and over 111.5. They looked putrid last night. The 76ers are not going to be as good as we thought they were if Joel Embiid and Paul George is not going to play. Then I had LaMelo Ball over 13.5 rebounds plus assists. LaMelo said, you know what? I'm going to shoot threes, and that's all I'm going to do. So I think he finished with like 9 rebounds and assists, but I think he hit a career high, like 9 3-pointers last night before he ended up fouling out. Small little lotto on Drummond to get 15 rebounds and Maxey to score 35 points, which was a loser. That was a very small bet that I made towards the end of the day. So 3-3 on the night, 9-7 on the season. We are back and forth, but not losing money. So I'm okay with that. I feel like I'm putting in too much time to not be profitable, but it is what it is. We'll definitely start to be profitable here soon. Let's go through a couple of the comments real quick before I talk to you guys about JaXon, the newest ChrisBeCappinn sponsor for the show. Drop a Dime says, good morning, Chris. That Drummond under half assist last night should be played until it can't anymore. I got to write that one down, Dropping Dimes. Drummond under assist. I remember you coming in here talking about it last time. What's up, Justin? Top of the morning, bro. What's up, OJ? He says Piston plus 14.5 for him today. What's up, Zachariah? Miles says, good morning. What's up, Sean? Appreciate you being in the chat, Sean. I feel like it's been a while since I've seen you. What's up? Good morning, Tasha. What's up, Mel? Backing these huge point spreads for underdogs have been brutal. Yeah, Sean, I kind of agree with that. Some of them have been really bad. And that's just the separation gap, right? It's going to be some good teams. You got like 4 or 5 really good teams in the NBA. You got those middle of the tier teams. Like you see this in the WNBA all the time. You got those teams that just suck. And Toronto was supposed to be one of those teams that sucked last night, and they did not. Lisa, what do you feel about the Bulls team total under 111 versus OKC? I think that's a solid look. I hadn't even looked into that game, LSD. I think I'm going to write that down, actually. Sometimes y'all say stuff in the chat that I want to ignore, and sometimes I hear stuff that makes me think, okay, I probably should look into that. I hadn't even thought about Chicago team total under. I will look into that because it just makes a lot of sense based on the spot. Drummond rebounds. I'm gonna write that down too real quick. Drummond assists under. I'll be looking into that as well. Shout out to you guys in the chat, man. Tasha says hit the like button. It definitely helps. Video package looks real. Dalton Connect showing connecting on points and threes last night. Shout out to the Lakers, man. 2-0 straight up on the season so far. Big game against Sacramento tonight. Sacramento owns my Lakers, but we'll see how that goes. What else? Mel says Philly killed the parlay, hit everything else. It's terrible. That's why I don't parlay though. Exactly why I don't parlay. Let's jump into it for today, man. Like I said, first thing I want to talk to you guys about is the new sponsor for the show, which is JaXon. So JaXon is an AI powered sports betting companion tool that you guys can use. On this page right here, you guys can see. So this is some of the things that JaXon offers. And this is what JaXon is. So if you are looking for it, this is absolutely crazy to me. So if you've never been to Pine Sports, which I've kind of like, I've had conversations with Pine Sports before. Everything over there is like, they got tables, they got charts to talk about size, talk about totals, talk about player props. You can use this stuff for sports betting, NFL, NHL, NBA, everything is over there. So you literally just type in a prompt like you would like on ChatGPT, and it'll populate based on real-time data all of the information that you might want and need. So some of the prompts you see right here on the screen: what are the top 5 MLB props for today? Which 3 batters are most likely to get a hit against the starting pitcher based on park factors? Who should I start in my fantasy lineup? I forgot about that. It's in all the different language: Portuguese, Spanish. It's a lot. It's a lot, bro. It's a whole lot going on over here on JaXon. So I encourage people to sign up and test it out. Just real quick, I want to touch on some of the other stuff I was talking about. So analytical. This is it kind of reminds me a little bit of Moneyballer. Moneyballer just has everything, the graphics all in front of you though, which is why I love Moneyballer. But JaXon can analyze historical performances, plus EV, arbitrage betting, you name it. So I would recommend checking this out. Like, one of the things that I've used it for so far, I like to handicap the games, of course, myself, and then I'll just ask JaXon how do they feel about the play that I want to make, and see if it kind of correlates. And yeah, it's been, last night it was the under. I talked about the under in Detroit and Cleveland game, and I got some data after running some queries as well to kind of support it a little bit more and made me like my play a little bit more. So definitely check out action, man. JaXon, if you guys have not. Let's jump into the show for today. First game I want to talk about is the first game on the board: Clippers and Nuggets. 5:53, 5:54. Game starts early today. This is a 5 o'clock start time, Eastern Standard Time game. So even earlier, 2 o'clock start time for the Clippers, as far as body clock. And then Denver Nuggets, I think, are 3 o'clock start time for them, being in Mountain Time. So let's jump into this one. Line opened about 8 in favor of Denver. These are two teams that didn't play last night. And total sitting about 219.5, which is where it opened. It went up to 220.5 yesterday, and I had to hit the under. That's actually the play that I like the most in this game. So Clippers, first leg of a back-to-back. They actually got the Golden State Warriors tomorrow. Denver, last of a 2-game homestand for them before they start a 3-game road trip. The Clippers have won and covered the last 3 meetings against the Denver Nuggets. And last 5 have actually gone under the total as well, or either pushed. So when I was looking into this, the first thing that kind of stood out to me was just seeing how both teams had played their first game. We know if we go back to the first game, we cashed on the under in the Nuggets game against the Oklahoma City Thunder. I think that total was like 229.5 when I sent it out. The Nuggets scored 87 points in their season opener against the Thunder. They shot 36% from the field, 18% from the 3-point line. Then you got the Clippers. They're coming off an overtime game, which you typically want to take the unders in because unders are prevalent in overtime when teams are coming off overtime games. And this is a team that, in my opinion, I talked about this, they're going to have to rely heavily on their defense this year in general. No PG now. Kawhi is still out. And this is also a team that shot 27% from the 3-point line against the Phoenix Suns in their season opener and then to a dome. So these are two really poor 3-point shooting teams. You think about, I think about the pace of the game, and these are two slow pace teams as well, which is why we see such a low total for both of these teams. If we go back to last season, the Clippers were 25th in pace, the Nuggets were 28th in pace. And then I also just think you got to talk about depth. The Nuggets don't have a lot of depth. It feels like they just continue to get rid of pieces. KCP was the latest, and if Christian Braun and Julian Strawther are not going to have really big games, then they're not going to, offensive games, then they're not going to really be able to score the ball. After the game, you hear Jokic come out and say, that they lack 3-point shooting. They don't have a ton of 3-point shooters, which I absolutely agree with. If Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. are not knocking down threes, this team could really struggle to score the basketball. And conversely, same thing for the Clippers. You got the early start time as well. And then from a trend perspective, I did look into this. So Game 2 specifically, where game 1 was an under and you lost as a favorite, but you're still a favorite in game 2. 11-3 to the under in the Killer Sport database. I'm playing 11-3 trends pretty much every single time, man. This is a very, very strong trend. I couldn't understand, like I said, why it went up to 220.5, but I did send it out to members at about 1 o'clock this morning when I locked it in. I would still play it at 219.5. I think the last 10 matchups have averaged about 212 points between the Clippers and the Nuggets. So top play here, Clippers, Nuggets, under 220.5 is what I got, but I would still play this at 220.5. I would also be taking the points with the Clippers as well. I know that the Clippers are not supposed to be good, but I'm not laying 8 with the Denver Nuggets either. I do think the Clippers can keep this within the number. Only problem is, like I said, it's the first leg of a back-to-back. They got the Warriors tomorrow, and if things start to go left, they may end up pulling their starters and trying to get ready for that game tomorrow against the Golden State Warriors. But I would lean Clippers as well. I'm not laying 8 with the Denver Nuggets right now. Not in current form for the Nuggets. Let's go through the comments real quick, see if y'all got any thoughts on this game before we jump over to the next one. Mark says, other Mark says Sixers sold out. I think, I did watch the game. I don't think it's necessarily sold out. It wasn't like they weren't trying. I think the Raptors are going to be feisty at times this year. They play hard. They play a lot harder than the Nuggets. Than the 76ers yesterday. Coach Nick Nurse talked about it after the game. He said they would get into all the loose balls. They played better defense. And Philly really going to struggle to score the basketball. Their offense, I thought it was just the Bucks defense in game 1 was, a little bit better. But when you can't score against Toronto, it's going to be some problems. I think we're going to be looking towards some unders for the Philly games for sure. They played I'm not sure who they play. They don't have a game. I'm not sure who they play, but I'll be looking towards unders for Philly. Rolla says, can you ask if Bama will actually win today? Yeah, you can. You absolutely can. They give you like historical trend and data, matchup data. Like you can just type the prompt in and it'll like spit out whatever. It creates charts for you. So if you want to see, like, it's interesting because just real quick, one more thing on JaXon. I actually like Buddy Hill last night a lot on his 3-pointers, and I didn't play it, so I didn't send it out either. But I was like, Buddy Hill had hit so many threes in the first game against the Portland Trail Blazers. I was like, I think we all know Utah Jazz 3-point defense is one of the worst in the league. So I'm like, Buddy Hill probably should get busy tonight. So I'm typing in the prompt like, I think it was like, Buddy, what's the projection on Buddy Hill threes tonight, and create a table that shows me Buddy Hill game logs against the Utah Jazz specifically. And I'm like, yeah, he probably gonna go over it. Man, I don't know if people watched the game, but Buddy Hill hit like 7 threes in the first half yesterday. It was crazy yesterday. So you can definitely ask all those different prompts for sure. What's up, Jeff? Appreciate you for tapping in. SK says Harden should clear 23.5 on volume alone. Who else gonna score? Yeah, I think Zubac. I need to look at Zubac head-to-head matchup with Jokic, but they don't have a lot of scores, man. They really, really don't. I think having Chris Dunn out there to slow down Jamal Murray. You got Christian Braun to slow down Jamal Murray. Like this is gonna be a defensive game in my opinion. I almost want to bet the first half to go under as well. Drop a Dime says he likes who is that? Michael Porter Jr. over his 5.5 rebounds. And what's up, Big Mar? Appreciate you for showing love and tapping in, man. Let's jump into the next game that I want to get to, and then I want to get to one more game after this one. I'm gonna get up off here. Not gonna be on here for, like I said, breaking out every single game. Hit the like button for me if you haven't, though. Appreciate that. Let's jump into the Miami Heat and the Charlotte Hornets. So Miami, this line opened last night at 3.5. in favor of the Miami Heat, and actually it's moved now because it was at 5. I think I see 2 5s, and they're on like the smaller sports books, Bet Valley and Bet Rivers. So this is 5.5 on most books. The total is 223. It looks like some money coming in on the under 222.5, 223, just depending on where you're shopping. And this is a game that I sent out Miami last night. So injury report. Let's just go there first. I was trying to find an update on Brandon Miller. Of course, he did not play last night, but I'm thinking he's going to continue to be out. he was nursing that left glute strain from the Wednesday game and did not play in Atlanta last night. So for the Hornets, you got second leg of back-to-back, of course. It is their home opener. And for the Miami Heat, they are coming off a game where they absolutely got embarrassed. They were embarrassed on their home floor, and it was doing ceremony night for Pat Riley. I don't know how you don't not like Miami in this spot. This line opened at 3.5. It's up to 5.5. That's probably my cutoff is where I would play it. I do think that they win the game by multiple possessions. Miami has won 8 of the last. So from a historical perspective, for what it's worth, Miami has won 8 of the last 10 matchups. They've won 4 straight. They've covered the last 2. They won all 4 meetings last season. They covered the last 2 by double digits. And I think, one thing I like about the Miami Heat is they always take it on the chin. We were on the Orlando Magic plus the 2 in that game, and the Heat didn't shy away from how bad they were in that opener against the Magic. Bam said, "We played bad. It's not really anything. It's not really anything to it." I mean, that's as simple as I can make it. It's embarrassing, especially on a night like this for Godfather Riley. To me, that just made me think they're probably about to come out here and absolutely try to run through the Charlotte Hornets. And I absolutely agree. You go back to that game, Jimmy Butler, Bam shot just 2 for 13 combined for 12 points. I don't think we see that. Miami was a good bounce back team last season. They finished 10-5 straight up and against the number, coming off a loss after the All-Star break last season. In Charlotte, I think it's the perfect time to sell on them. They've covered both games, both of their first 2 games. They covered and won outright against the Houston Rockets. And then they went to Atlanta and covered that +5, or you might have got a push if you got the +5. But I sent the +5.5 out yesterday morning. So covered both of the early numbers, and now you got them on the second leg of a road home back-to-back against a pissed off Miami team that let Pat Riley down on the Ring of Honor night. So yeah, I absolutely love it here. I love it here being on the side. I think Miami does win the game by multiple possessions. So I would probably buy a point. I would take the 5, but I do think they win the game by multiple possessions today. The other thing about the Charlotte Hornets is their defense. It struggled last night against Atlanta and Trae Young. I think it struggles again. Terry Rozier, Tyler Hero, Jimmy Butler, Bam, Jovic. I think they all should be able to score the basketball here. So I like Miami. I like Miami a lot in this spot. I do think it's a turn-up spot for them. Let's see if you guys have thoughts before we jump into the last one. I feel like a lot of people ain't do their homework. I don't see a lot of comments in the chat. Glow says NBA is a little funky. Strong under game, Mike says. Think you're talking about the last one. Glow says, so Pacers suck. You know what, Glow? I actually that was the one game that I did not really watch too much. I saw that it was close early, and then it looks like they just absolutely locked up the Pacers, and I think they ended up winning by 25 points. I had to go back and like look into that game a little bit more. But since the Knicks didn't play today and the Pacers also didn't play today, I wasn't really too keen on trying to figure out why that happened. I did see Tyrese Halliburton was 0 for 8 or something like that, didn't make a shot. So yeah, that I did see that, but I have no idea. I got to go back and watch it. And of course they don't suck, but the Knicks were, all the motivation in the world coming off a 30-point loss against the Pacers in Game 7 on your home floor at Madison Square Garden, and you just lost to the Celtics and let them shoot 60% from the 3-point line, gave up 130 points. It makes a ton of sense that they bounced back in that spot. I didn't play the game though. Glow says +5 based on how NBA is going. I'm on the opposite side. We'll see how that goes. SK says Hornet teams total under 108. Heat locking in on the defensive end, and I agree with that. Dougie Bones says them young bull bodies bounce back different off back-to-backs. I'm still over on Trey Mann and Melo points today. Okay. Drop It Down says, what are your thoughts on the Heat first half minus the 3.5? I like it, Drop It Down. I think I got 3.5 for the full game, but I definitely think that, it's no playing around today for Miami. I know we don't talk about must-win spots this early in the season, but would not surprise me if we see the Heat kind of, take this game super serious, and that's what I'm betting on. That's what I'm banking on. Dev says, I just sold my car to have enough money to bet today after getting robbed last night. Hope you good, Chris. My favorite player tonight is Cade Cunningham under his 7.5 assists and Evan Mobley over for 4.5 first quarter points. So Kate, that makes a ton of sense. That under 7.5, second leg of a back-to-back. It's already a game where they're probably gonna get blown out by Boston. I can't believe the numbers that high. This makes a lot of sense. Just logically, Dav. I hope you cash, bro. Yeah, that's solid. Under 7.5 assists against Boston. It was Jordan Poole last game, right? He was at 6.5, and I said I was gonna play the under after my guy Mitch bought that to us in the comment section. I forgot to even play it, and that was an easy winner as well. I think Jordan Poole finished with 4 assists. Yeah, Detroit in for a rude awakening. They couldn't stop Cleveland last night. I like that, Dav. Best of luck to you, bro. And appreciate you for tapping in too. Doggy Bone says, could it be a Scary Terry revenge game tonight? Terry Rozier? I don't know about the revenge. I think he likes a lot of players in Charlotte, but I do think that he's going, everybody should have revenge on their mind, in my opinion. G421 says, Hornets cover, give me the +5. Hornets was Undertaker said, and they keep coming back. So opposite side here, some love for the Hornets today. Not for me. Not for me, especially on the second leg of a back-to-back third game in 4 nights. Mark says, rested Mavs versus tired back-to-back Suns. I thought about doing a breakdown of that game specifically. The money is coming in on Dallas. Suns are actually up to +3 now, and this will be their home opener. I just didn't like the way that they lost last night. I think if you do like the Suns today against Dallas at all, you probably want to take them first half. They could potentially run out of gas late in this game against Dallas after giving up that big 20+ point lead against the Lakers last night. Halliburton 0 points. Thought it was a typo, Alice says. Miles says, love Miami. I got that -3. Team was 13-3 straight up as what is that? What is RF? Road favorites last year? And Charlotte was 4-11 straight up on 0 rests. Okay, I didn't even look into the rest stats. Let's see what else. Terry over his 23.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Mark Radio says, what up, Dirt? Appreciate you for tapping in. Kevin says he likes Jimmy Butler over 5 assists. What up, LJ? He says, do you have updated over totals in NBA so far? It was 9-3 yesterday. LJ, what's going on, bro? Hope all is well with you too. It was 9-3. It was 9-3 yesterday to the over. I think it's 17-9 to the over. So totals are still continuing to go over. 17-9 is 65.4% with the 26 games that we've seen in the NBA so far this season. So yeah, totals have been going over. We actually hit a couple unders on the right side though. On the right side of a couple unders, which it wasn't that many yesterday. Cavs, Pistons, Jazz, Warriors stayed under. Trailblazers, Pelicans stayed under. And that was it. That's crazy. Yeah, there was 4 unders yesterday. Knicks, Pacers stayed under. Closing line. Cavs, Pistons, Jazz, Warriors, Trailblazers, Pelicans. So we picked one of the one of the 4 out of 10 games yesterday. It makes me feel pretty good. What's up, Charles? It's top of the morning, Chris in chat. Let's cash. Jay Holiday says these games are not as predictable so far. Let's get the money tonight, though. What's up, Lightbearer? 76ers killed everybody last night, Dirt. That's for sure. All right, let's go through the next game real quick. I wanted to talk to you guys about Magic and Grizzlies. So Magic are 2-0 straight up so far against the spread and on the full season. They had the big convincing win, of course, in Miami for game 1. They take care of business last night, winning the game by double digits, covering that 11.5 point spread. I think they won by 15. And you got a Grizzlies team on the second leg, both teams on the second leg of a back-to-back. For Memphis, it's the second leg of a back-to-back. Short travel from Houston, and they got the Chicago Bulls at home on Monday. I was reading last night. I'm interested to see what happens in this game based on the minutes that Ja Morant is going to play. So more than likely, the Memphis Grizzlies, let me see if I can find an updated injury report. More than likely, the Memphis Grizzlies are going to be without Jared Jackson Jr. He's missed the first 2 games. He's still dealing with the hamstring injury. But I'm not sure if he's been ruled out for this game or not. We know on the second leg of back-to-backs, the teams have, I think, until like 3 hours before start time, to 3 or 4 hours before start time to submit their injury report. But there's still no Gigi Jackson. There's still no Luke Kennard. There is also no Vince Williams, no Cam Spencer. And for the Orlando Magic, this team, not that they're the deepest team, and I know Memphis is at home, like that whole home crowd thing. I just worry about Ja Morant. Like, I was reading through some of the beat reporter stuff last night. And when I say I worry about Ja Morant, I'm worried about how many minutes he's going to play if you like Memphis in this spot. You know, I know that, you know, trying to be a little bit conservative with his minutes, but this is the second leg of a back-to-back, a third game in 4 nights for Memphis. I don't feel like Ja Morant is going to play, super big minutes. They're going to need a lot from Desmond Bane. I think Orlando wins the game, man. It does seem pretty easy with them only laying 1.5. I think you can get this at -1 on a couple books as well. You can get a -1. Just take them on the money line. I kind of feel like I'm not really wanting to trust the Memphis defense right now. Like, they really struggled. They're coming off that they gave up 120 points last night to the Houston Rockets, and they're allowing 126 points per game. The Utah Jazz also were able to score a bunch of points. So yeah, I don't like that at all. I think if anything, Orlando continues to play really, really good defense against this team. They're holding teams to 99 points per game so far through the first 2 games. I think this is another game where we just need Orlando to win, and I kind of feel like they can do that tonight. I know it's on the road. They were a pretty good road team last season. So I like Orlando in this spot. I have not bet this one quite yet, but that's the only way I'm looking at this game is to the Orlando Magic here. Let's go through the comments real quick and see what you guys are thinking about this one. And I'm going to leave. I actually didn't even update this. So we'll go LAC and Denver under 219.5 because that's the current number. We'll go Miami -5, and we'll go Orlando. We'll just take them -1. I think that is the right side. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I have not bet that one. So far, I've come on here and give you guys 3 plays per day. And anything else goes to the members when I do make those plays. But I'll leave that one in red because I have not bet that. I have sent out 2 plays. I gave you guys both of the plays that I've made so far. Let's see. SK says Magic +1 now. What news dropped is JJ in? We got to figure that out. I have not seen anything about Jared Jackson Jr. being in, though. Let me just check my sources. And I don't think it'll come out this early. It's 9:30 on the East Coast. I don't think we're going to get Jared Jackson Jr. playing news this early in the day. I could be wrong. Yeah, I don't see anything yet, though. I don't see anything. Memphis -1.5. Okay. I'm not agreeing there. Cuppa Joe says Orlando might be it this year. Threw some coins on them to win the division. That price was -140 when I did the season previews, and I did not play it. I totally forgot. I was just got so busy. I think they're definitely gonna win that division. And I told you guys how high I was on Orlando. They just play defense. They play the right way. Under Coach Jamal Mosley. So I love that. Absolutely love that. Dougie says Magic winning covered, no matter the spot, situation, favorite underdog. It does not matter. Sierra says Memphis been struggling regardless how Ja plays. Yeah, I just don't like it. I don't like the spot for him. It looks super easy to take Orlando. I get it, but I think they did the right side. Haven't bet it yet, though. I'll think about that one a little bit more. Miles says, I don't understand why the line is flipped. Has flipped to what? Because I think, let's see, where we at? Yeah, Memphis still +1 on my books. So Orlando is laying a point, potential 1.5, depending on where you're shopping. What's up, Nook? Appreciate you for tapping in. Orlando, I don't see Orlando as a dog. Memphis is a dog. Memphis is +1, Cuppa Joe, is what I see anyway. Long. I just wanted to get through all the comments. That's all. All right, let's get into a quick recap. I talked about these. Clippers and Nuggets. I'm on the under. I played it last night at 220.5. Sent it out early this morning. sent it out to the members. I like the 219.5. I don't think that the total is going to go back up. I woke up this morning. It was a under by a point. I think this game finishes about 213, 214. So I would endorse the 219.5, but just for transparency, I do got a 220.5 in my pocket. Miami, talked about the spot for them. Absolutely love it. Think the Charlotte Hornets on the second leg of a back-to-back third game of 4 nights. Also got to mention LaMelo Ball, probably no Brandon Miller. LaMelo Ball, minutes may be monitored today on the second leg of a back-to-back. This is the first time he's played 3 games in 4 nights in quite a while. So I do like Miami. Major bounce back spot for them. And then Orlando minus the 1. Like I said, it does feel like the right side. If I play anything else, and I probably will have more plays as I get a chance to really dive into the rest of the handicap for the card, I'll send those plays out to the members. If you're interested in joining, the link for joining as a member is in the description of the video. Hope you guys have a great day, and appreciate you guys for tuning in. Again, just real quickly, I really, and people that's been watching the show for a while, like if you've been following me for the last 3-4 years, you know that when I'm talking about something, I feel really passionate about it, like sports betting in general. But these resources that I'll be talking about with you guys, and I know a lot of people have signed up for OddsJam and Moneyballer. Definitely check those out, man. Definitely check them out. But the latest one is JaXon, man. Send me, if you guys are interested, because I am eventually going to open up a Discord. It won't be for plays. It'll be just for communication. But if you guys are interested, shoot me a DM on Twitter at ChrisBeCappinn 2 P's 2 N's. I'll come on here, screen share with you guys, and go through JaXon. And you ask me the prompt, and I'll put it in and show you exactly what it's like if you're interested in signing up. When you sign up, if you're interested in signing up for JaXon, the discount code is ChrisBeCappinn with 2 P's 2 N's. Whatever tier you select, that's what the discount is for. So I would honestly recommend signing up for the year, just because you can use it for the entirety of a full year. That covers all the sports within a 12-month cycle. But if you want to just use it for the first month, then if you want to use it again after that month, you probably gonna have to pay the full price. But just check it out, man. I promise you'll absolutely love JaXon. I love it, and that's the only reason I've added it as a sponsor to the show. So check it out. If you guys have not, hit the like button for me on the way out. Subscribe to the channel. As always, like I said, my plays that I make, official plays that I add anything. Y'all got both of my best that I've made so far. But if I add anything, it'll be on the description of the video. The link for those plays will be in the description of the video. Bet responsibly. Best of luck, and I'll catch you guys in the next one, man. Enjoy your Saturday. I'm out.